Çok saygıdeğer misafirlerimiz, Türkiye Cumhuriyeti Cumhurbaşkanımız Sayın Recep Tayyip Erdoğan toplantı salonuna teşrif etmektedirler. Our distinguished guests, His Excellency Recep Tayyip Erdoğan, President of the Republic of Turkey, is entering into meeting room. His Excellency Recep Tayyip Erdoğan, President of the Republic of Turkey, is entering into the meeting room. Saygıdeğer misafirlerimiz, Türkiye Cumhuriyeti Cumhurbaşkanımız Sayın Recep Tayyip Erdoğan toplantı salonuna teşrif etmişlerdir. Hoş geldiniz. Ladies and gentlemen, His Excellency Recep Tayyip Erdoğan, President of the Republic of Turkey, has just entered into the room. Welcome again. Ladies and gentlemen, now I would like to kindly invite His Excellency Bujar Nishani, President of Albania, to the stage for his honorary speech.
Honorable President Erdoğan, honorable colleagues, distinguished ministers, ladies and gentlemen. It is a special pleasure participating in the 7th Bosphorus Summit. And before I express some thoughts and views on its topic, first, I would like to thank the heads of the International Cooperation Platform, Mr. Humerzlu and Mr. Ozagençil, about the invitation and for excellent organization of the summit, providing us with the opportunity to gather and discuss the issues and challenges that concerns us. I would like to give a special thanks to the President of the Republic of Turkey, friend and brother Erdoğan, and to the Turkish authorities as well for the warm welcome extended and for the facilitating the summit in the wonderful city of Istanbul. Distinguished participants, this edition of the 7th Bosphorus Summit comes at a very special moment when the world and human society face the consequences and challenges of a very fast development and threats that lays into question many of our common values, and without exaggerating or going overboard, perhaps the very human existence per se in the long term. We are witnessing the world changing a lot in the last decade, And these changes have undoubtedly affected our countries, regions, and societies. The world today, at least economically, has become multipolar, and new economic reports and balances are being outlined. But adhering and sticking to the theme of this summit, global future, global goals, I think that firstly we should dwell in order to analyze what we are going through and what we are experiencing at the present day, and propose and support appropriate solution to ensure a better and safer common future. Our attention often focuses on small national and local goals and interests, forgetting that life, economy, and communication nowadays have become global, and that this globalization trend can affect all the aspects of our lives. But this future globalization, if we may call it such, brings to us also the need of a closer cooperation and a well-coordinated action in such a manner as to enable us being victors in our future. Of course, human society has evolved and has affected many horizons unimagined a decade or two ago. Technological and cyber revolution have changed the life of our common planet. The development is very fast, but security seems to be moving with a different pace and speed. The forward-oriented human society is forgetting the lessons learned from the history of two bloody and destructive world wars that took place during last century. Anarchist and populist voices, particularly in Europe, are becoming increasingly stronger, increasing the risk of introducing our countries and societies into unimaginable risk and adventures. Therefore, I appreciate the contribution that the Bosphorus Summit provides in this regard, conceived and envisioned with great vision and involving many panelists from various fields. Repeatedly, and in various international forums, including here in Istanbul, we have often discussed and listened some of the challenges and the most serious threats to which we must say that there is a greater awareness and a common commitment to face and overcome them. The strong economic turbulences are affecting without exceptions all international markets. The European continent has been the region most affected by the recent economic crisis and financial, and apparently we still have not overcome it. Europe and the European Union are becoming more flexible, creating new space for non-European capital, but also for economic ties and exchanges with the growing economic power and other non-European space. The climate changes that are threatening the existence of many species and mankind have now become part of a common solution. The reaching of the Paris Agreement marked a crucial turning point for the future of our planet, being considered by the far right as one of the best opportunities for our generation for a better and safe life of future generations. That represented the most significant example, that when there is awareness, common will, and cooperation, then the accurate identification of the threat, its addressing and finding appropriate solution become a reality, and at the right and necessary time as well. Local wars are creating grounds and premises for their spread and extensions in a dangerous manner. Encouraging and supporting them not only is destroying cities and victimized innocent people, but are endangering the safety on a much broader regional and global level. The conflicts in Syria, Ukraine, Iraq, Yemen, Afghanistan, domestic conflicts in many other countries in North Africa, threats from North Korea, but also many other countries and regions of the world, are greatly undermining and harming the very structure of our security, and are producing other crises far more dangerous and that require greater cost of financial and human resources to cope with their consequences. These conflicts beyond the bloody destructions are significantly increasing the risk of spreading incalculably. Therefore, the commitment to prevent them is indispensable. In the Balkans region, after the disintegration of the former Yugoslavia, we experienced a similar experience of ethnic and religious conflict, but after the NATO intervention in Kosovo in 1999 and the serious commitment of the international community, our region has entered a new phase of cooperation and reconciliation. The Western Balkans today is more peaceful and secure, and all Balkan countries in the region are involved and included in dialogue with each other. Even between Kosovo and Serbia, a multi-year-long dialogue is ongoing, and it is delivering some concrete results. My country, Albania, in both the context of individually and as a member of NATO, is committed and contributing with all its possibilities and capacities to prevent and end the conflicts and suffering of human society, both in its region and on global level. The refugee crisis is and still remains another threat to our security and stability, and therefore to our development as well. Turkey, Jordan, and Europe, and many other countries are faced with an extraordinary influx of refugees and immigrants. In May this year, with the valuable support of President Erdogan and his government, the first global humanitarian summit took place right here in Istanbul as a first attempt by the international community to cope with refugee and migratory flows consistently and in a coordinated response. At the summit as well as now, and based on the experience of my country, after 1990s, in welcoming and bidding farewell to refugees, I think that sustainable and long-term solution must and should be found and addressed at the sources of the crisis. And this should be done also in the case of refugees from Syria and Iraq. Overcoming this crisis, we need unity, solidarity, and collective decision-making. It's very important to prevent human suffering, but also we must be attentive to their possible exploitation by terrorist organizations and violent extremism. Albania, in fact, has not been directly affected by the crisis as other neighbor countries. But we have the right sensibility, and we have offered our readiness and willingness to cooperate with the neighboring countries and with European Union in line and according to the capacities and means we possess. Terrorism and violent extremism with ethnic and religious backgrounds and fuel have become serious threats, having a source of intolerance and discrimination on religion and ethnic or other different groups. We must be united in the fight against terrorism, as it is hitting our societies, fueling violence and fear and producing chaos as well. Albania has joined the international coalition in the fight against terrorism and ISIS ever since the beginning, and is closely working with the partner countries, particularly with Turkey, in identifying and isolating of the so-called foreign fighters. Also, my country remains fully committed to prevent terrorism and violent extremism. Based on the experience we had with several dozen young people who joined ISIS 2 years ago, we have undertaken strong initiatives and legal actions. Unfortunately, most of those young people originated and have come from poor areas, often neglected by the state and human attention. We are working hard to change this situation and are closely working with local and religious community in the areas that were mostly affected by this phenomenon. Believing that a part of crisis stems from rising and increasing of religious intolerance, violent extremism, and discrimination, Albania, thanks to its centennial experience of religions, harmony, and coexistence, remains fully committed to offer and provide its contribution both locally and regionally and globally as well. Albania is part of the main and leading group of the resolution for the war against violent extremism, and it has adopted a national strategy at the fighting against the violent extremism and terrorism in order to harmonize, energize, and cooperating among the religion leaders and local and social communities in the country. Therefore, I strongly believe that by promoting dialogue and understanding between cultures and civilizations, we will minimize to the maximum the impact of terrorism and extremism element. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, despite listing of this crisis and serious threats, I think that there is no room for pessimism because our active commitment demonstrated in the Bosphorus summit, but also the commitment of other countries or regional and international organizations and bodies gives up hope for better cooperation and coordination in facing the overcoming them successfully. We do not need to stop for a moment for a global common future in finding the language of understanding and cooperation to the benefit of the children of our societies and of the future generation that would come after us. Thank you. Thank you very much for invitation. And I would like to wish good luck with this summit, and thank you very much for your attention.
We would like to offer our sincere thanks to His Excellency Bujar Nishani, President of Albania. May I please now kindly invite His Excellency Lütfi Elvan, Minister of Development Turkey, to the stage to present the plaque of honor to his president. May I please keep you on the stage, sir? Thank you. His Excellency Lütfi Elvan is presenting the plaque of honor to His Excellency Bujar Nishani, President of Albania. Thank you. Our distinguished guests, now I would like to kindly invite His Excellency Mustafa Akıncı, President, Turkish Republic of Northern Cyprus, to the stage for his speech.
Türkiye Cumhuriyeti'nin saygıdeğer Cumhurbaşkanı, Arnavutluğun Sayın Cumhurbaşkanı, değerli konuklar, Uluslararası İşbirliği Platformu'nun 7. Boğaziçi Zirvesi'nde sizlerle birlikte bulunmaktan duyduğum mutluluğu ifade ederek sözlerime başlamak istiyorum. Sözlerimin başında 4,5 ay kadar önce 15 Temmuz darbe girişimi sırasında yaşamını yitiren aziz şehitleri saygıyla, rahmetle anıyorum. Gazilere minnet duygularımı ifade ediyorum. O ilk akşamın ilk anından itibaren